Hello, lovelies. I have been looking at this particular perfume for a really long time. I've also tried to bid on it a few times on eBay and I've been outbid. So I was watching one on eBay, I think that was about £18, and someone sent me an offer to get it for a bit cheaper, and I snapped it up. This is a 50ml. This is Davidoff Run Wild for Her. So there's also a male version of this perfume. I don't know if they're really related in terms of how they smell, but they obviously, like, they've got Run Wild for her, Run Wild for him. So it's in this rather beautiful pale green metallic box. I like this bottle as well. This came up in a search when I was looking at pistachio perfumes, basically, and I've read lots of reviews of this and it doesn't get very good reviews. So I was like humming and hawing, but I decided to go for it. I wanted to try it. So I think this is a very cute little bottle. Lovely. It's got pretty simple notes for this one, but I doubt very much that this is the full story on what the actual notes are. Let's have a look. It doesn't say anything on the box. So it only gives you in the top pomegranate pistachio, middle notes jasmine, and base notes lily. Now, I think probably the reason that this gets snarky reviews is because people buy it for the pistachio note. However, I'd read enough reviews to know that you're not going to get lots of pistachio with this. I would say the pistachio here, all it does is give you a very slight sweetness and a very slight kind of creaminess that adds to what is quite a floral perfume. A slightly fruity floral perfume. So also jasmine is voted as the top note here, but I feel like I get mainly lily, actually. I don't feel like the jasmine's taking over too much here. I think there's a lot of lily. And there's a lot of pomegranate too. Certainly when you first spray it. So when you first spray this one, you might be like, oh, it's a bit sharp. Because obviously pomegranate's quite sharp and white florals can be quite sharp. But you've just got to, firstly, you've got to try it on your skin and you've got to let it dry down. So when this dried down, I was quite enchanted by it because when it first sprayed, I thought, this is very shampoo-y. It does smell, it's a beautiful freshie in that it just smells like you've just washed your hair and you've just got out of the shower. Really nice, fresh and clean. And I think when it says run wild, it means like, you know, wild swimming, wild running, that kind of thing. Not like, oh my God, you're so wild. I don't think it's supposed to be that. I think it's supposed to be out in nature kind of smell, fresh and clean, which it definitely is. And interestingly enough, the more it dried down, the more I was thinking, there's definitely musk in this. 100% there's musk in it because there is a soapy muskiness that I really enjoy. And I think the more it dries down, the more it turns into a much fancier shampoo, if that makes sense. And what it reminds me of quite a lot is the dry down of this, which is L'Occitane Cerise Etoile, which is one of the flankers of their cherry blossom perfume. So I really like the way that this one dries down on my skin. Cerise Etoile definitely smells like an incredibly fancy shampoo, or like a kind of a really good hand soap, like a really expensive hand soap. So it's maybe not quite as harsh as a shampoo. It's got a little bit more of a softness to it. So it's not quite bar soap soft, but it's like really good, very expensive hand wash smell. And I get the same thing with Run Wild. So I think Run Wild, it's very similar in the dry down. That's also why I think it's so must have musk in it. But it's lily and pomegranate rather than the cherry blossom and water lily that's in Cerise Etoile. So yeah, I mean, I actually am really looking forward to trying this one out in warmer weather because I quite enjoy that kind of freshie, and you can get a tiny sense that there's something in here that's not just fruity floral, and that is the pistachio, but it's really just a hint. The pomegranate's tangy and fruity, like I said, the jasmine's not too overpowering. I really think the lily is the strongest thing here. And yeah, I actually think this is super pretty. I'm really looking forward to wearing it. It's going to be a good one to try out when I want a really freshy day. I've tried it on my skin, but it hasn't had a full wear test yet. But yeah, I think this one gets a hard time. But I think if you know what you're expecting and you're not expecting to get a full pistachio perfume and you're expecting something that smells fresh, like shampooey, right out of the shower, then this is not going to disappoint you in that respect. I think this is really pretty, and I definitely think it's one that needs to be tried on the skin. I think, I'm pretty sure there's a musk in here that really develops beautifully, and it's just going to smell so much better than it does on card. Yeah, so I'm quite happy that I got this one. I also think it's a beautiful little bottle. So yeah, I'm going to be getting ready to get all fruity floral as soon as the weather warms up.